Now, I want to address this dispatch a little bit. Maybe I can help a little bit, and maybe I can explain how we got here because, someone said before that we have a responsibility as elected officials, and we do. And I agree with that. I forget who it was, but she's spot on. So I've been contacted by residents about our dispatch center. They call, ask what's going on, and the fact that we're looking into a shared service with Sussex County. Our early discussion were very informal. We gathered information to support further efforts to look into the shared service. As we move forward, the process will become much more formal as it just has tonight, and it will be carefully documented. Up until now, it's been like, what do you think? What does this mean? And then social media took over, of course. And there's a lot of information on social media, mostly on social media, that it's simply not true. There is no large tax increase being anticipated. Any statement otherwise is false. It's just simply not true. Our current fund balance is $3.2 million. That's always in fluctuation. So the statement that there is no surplus is also false, or whatever they called it, the rainy day fund. But it's called the fund balance. It's always in flux. Money takes out, money goes in. It's like a checkbook you use to pay your bills. We've reduced our gross debt in the past 4 years by $10 million. And that's all already available. It's posted on the door of our CFO. I believe we did have it at a bulletin board for a little while. So the idea on Facebook or anyplace else that the borough is not financially stable is absolutely false. So the study was initiated this all started for multiple reasons. The main reason was $1.8 million capital budget request by the police department for a new dispatch radio system. If you look at our budget pinned to the bulletin board and the capital request, it's on there. And actually, I come to find out it's actually a little bit more than that, but I'll stay with the 1.8 million because we can run some numbers on how that affects what we're doing. The property tax consequences on that money is a lot. There's no final decision being made and won't be made until every issue, like we talked about, of this shared service is resolved. So the accusation that it's done or a done deal or there's a conspiracy, it's in the back room, that's simply false. There's a lot of false stuff going on. So our job here now is going to be to clear that up. And so, I'm famous for the statutes, but according to the NJSA 40A:65-1, any local unit of the state may enter into contract with any other local unit for a joint provision within their jurisdiction of any service which any party to the agreement is empowered to render. So the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, Division of Local Government Services supports shared service efforts and will help us facilitate a thorough and unbiased study of this shared service. And that's important to know. So the suggestion of a conspiracy or that we're being strong-armed is false. We're doing this council is doing this of our own free will and volition. And the final decision we make will be ours. We will own that decision, not anybody else, not the state, not the county, not anybody, but us folks. So, I want to be very, very clear with that. The financial impact of $1.8 million, which is a fact, on property taxes is as follows. And this is what got my attention initially. It was really the primary driver of this. So our current tax rate is 94 cents per $100. Now you might lose, I might lose you on this, but I'm sorry. I'll make this available if you want it. Our current tax rate is 94 cents per $100 of assessed value. $1.8 million will raise that to $1.06 per $100 of assessed value. That results in a 14% increase in municipal taxes. That's what got my attention on this whole mess. And so how do you get to a tax point? Every $141,950, $915 raises the tax rate by 1 cent. So our local tax levy is the amount we need from our residents to balance our budget. The tax rate is the mathematical product of dividing our levy by the assessed valuation and multiplying by 100. simply taking what we need and spreading it over all the assessed property value. In 2021, our levy was $13,360,000, and our valuation was $1,419,153,363. So if you divide that 13 million to 1.4 billion, you come up with 0.0094, which is our tax point, which is our levy. So if it's 94 cents per $100 assessed valuation, our average assessed value of a home is $214,256. So the local tax on our average home is $2,017.02. That's the municipal tax now. And so if you multiply 214,000, if you divide 214,000 by 100, you get $2,000 times 94 cents. That's how you get your tax, your municipal tax. So if we fund a new dispatch center, as the chief of police requested, for dispatch services at a cost of $1.8 million, the first year would increase our budget, leading to the below. Our tax levy would go from 13,360,000 to 15,160,000. So when you do that, divide the 15 million into the 1.4 billion, you get $1.06, and that would be an increase of a new tax rate, which is an increase of 12.6 cents. So the new local tax on the average home would be $2,288.78, which is an increase of $271 just in local taxes, and that's the 14% tax increase. So if you follow that all the way through with the value of your house with a $1.06 tax levy, the average house from 214,000 would pay increases from 217,000 to $2,271. So a $300,000 house would increase $360. A $400,000 house would increase $40. So the proposed expenditure of $1.8 million, which could be more, for our dispatch has caused a lot of concern and has led to cost-benefit study of a shared service, which, this early on, it confused me early on. So if you didn't know about it right away, that's because I was trying to get my head wrapped around this before I could give this to you. And by the way, if you want this, I can send it to you in total. So this expenditure is $1.8 million for our dispatch service is very concerning. And so we look at what could Sussex County offer at the same or better levels, and that does not increase property taxes, and that's just the money end of it. There's the technical end of it, and there's the people end of it. I understand that, but first you got to understand the finances of it. So our challenge now is to look at the technology, determine if a shared service with Sussex County will benefit our town and the people and meet the immediate needs of all our safety concerns. So that's kind of what brings us right here now. And so, we're obligated to look at cost to the point where it has to make sense. And if everybody says we don't care what taxes are, then everybody could say that. But I do care what taxes are, and I do care what our debt is. And so we're on a good track. We haven't had a tax increase in 3 years. I'd like to continue that. We're reducing our debt. I'd like to continue that. So this is a very, very careful place where we need to be and where we need to go. And I can't overemphasize that. So from here on in, any numbers you want that I have, you're welcome to. And by the way, not a lot of people have called me. With all this junk is going on, all these people on Facebook, and the whole world has my phone number. Not a one blessed call concerning some of this stuff that was posted. Shame on you. I'm not a hard person to talk to, but boy, I have to tell you, I'm speaking from my heart. I know no other way to speak, and I'm speaking the truth. I swear to you, I am. So this is not done, never will be done until we all shake our heads in agreement that we're responsible and accountable, and we're serving everybody in our town, and we're serving them the right way. And get the thing that drives me is, are we doing the right thing? We have to answer that fundamental question first. Are we doing the right thing? And if the answer is yes, and there are consequences to it. We have to accept and be responsible for them consequences. No finger pointing, no saying, well, I didn't know you meant that, and I didn't know you meant this. We're not making any decision because we all know as elected officials what we want, what we need, and what we're responsible for to 15,000 and some odd people that are and the 8,000 or so homes that do pay their taxes. We're obligated to look at every nook and cranny of this. And at the end of the day, we might say we're okay. At the end of the day, we're going to say whatever we resolve. So it's a matter to me sometimes of what we need, maybe not what we want. And so we need to just keep that in mind. So I hope I help people understand that the position that the administration has put in, and now we're ready to move forward with this. I hope, and we're going to have some productive. We will have meetings, Jennifer. I promise you, we will have meetings. And by the way, everybody lost my phone number when this started? I'm afraid not. So to say that this number, this 1.8 million, which now has become 2.8 million, is a real number. That's from our police department. It's not made up. And I don't share emails with everybody, but I can tell you, I can assure you that they're not made up numbers. Not. And so I don't know how much more honest and direct I can be with the public and this council. I only know to tell the truth as I see it. And so we'll continue down this road, and we're going to do it openly. And people might not agree, but everybody will have their day to talk. I've talked to people too. And I've told people, why don't you call me? Let's get together. They're very involved parties. Nope. So you want to formalize it? We're going to print up a schedule. We're going to schedule meetings for everyone. And they'll be hopefully at a convenient time. I'll try to make them in the evening, or I'll poll the council and see what a good time for a meeting is. I'll advertise the meeting. If the whole council wants to be there, we'll call a special meeting. If it's just going to be the administration there with them and monitoring it, that's okay too. You tell me, because enough of this nonsense. And just because you see it on Facebook, don't make it true. I'm sorry. I just had enough of that. And you won't see me on it, but everybody has my cell phone number. Feel free. So I don't play with this. I don't play with people's livelihood. I don't play with people's safety, and will not. Been there, done that. I know precisely what police departments do from experience, and I know what dispatchers do. So it's not like we don't know what we're doing. And so this is the right time to address it, and we will. I hope we do it professionally and respectfully. I'm confident that we will. But you need to know where I come from too, and our administration has a lot of responsibility to everyone, including our police department, including our dispatchers. Someone made a comment that we're defunding the police. Baloney. Over $3 million of our budget goes that we just approved 2 new cars. I love our police department. So just stop that. We support our police department a great deal. So any suggestion otherwise is simply, I say, false, but that's just a plain lie. No one knows how much we support our department. But when it comes to large amounts of money, we're obligated to shine a light on that. We're obligated to question that. We're obligated to turn over every rock. We're obligated to look at every detail before I spend 1.8 or $2.8 million of your money. I'll tell you what, we're going to make damn sure it's done properly, if not at all. And maybe we should ask really what's broken, or is it just a want and maybe just not a need? So I hope I'm clear with everybody. But if you want the numbers and what I do, as a matter of fact, I'll publish them. How's that? So with that being said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.